My Spark, there's always a party. Let's go.
What's up, baby? How we doing?
I'm pissed off is how I'm doing.
We're starting out the show really hot.
No, we're
thanks
not.
for joining us again. As always, we love you guys being back to the show.
Don't be faking it to the crowd. I'm pissed off.
Not gonna lie, I should have started this one. This was the show that I needed to start the episode.
This is what if you're watching on YouTube, you probably know why I'm pissed off before I even say anything.
I'm looking good today. Let's just get to the point. I'm looking real good today.
So, me and Paul have the same color sweatshirt, the same plain. You get it at Target. It's the new thing. He doesn't have anything on the front.
It's classic.
That's why I say the mainstream or the main focus should be your face. So you should have nothing on your sweatshirt.
It looks clean. Yeah, for sure.
And we've worn this sweatshirt at separate times on the show, the same color. And my biggest fear in life was that one day I'll walk in here to do the show and we'll have this same sweatshirt on to do the show together.
Yep.
And my biggest fear came to tuition or fruition. Tuition or fruition? I pay a tuition.
Fruition.
I pay a tuition.
Okay, yes.
This came to fruition, and me and Paul are wearing the same dumbass sweatshirt.
I'm looking good today. I walked in.
Paul's excited about this. Let's keep that in mind.
I was extremely excited. I walked in today. I saw you. I was like, let's go.
Yeah, he practically almost did a backflip.
And you were like, what? And I'm like, you were just like in defeat.
Because I put this on, and I was like, I haven't worn a sweatshirt in a while in this episode. I was like, I know Paul's like main goal was to get us to wear the same sweatshirt for the same episode. And I'm like, I had this weird feeling. I had this weird instinct. My spidey senses were tingling that this might be a bad decision.
My party senses were tingling, baby. And guess what? You know what? You got to listen to him because I came in hot. We got the same sweatshirt on, and now we're just ready for a good show.
Your dad got a good joke out of it, good laugh out of it. He's like offering his sweatshirts up for me to wear.
He's like,
I
oh,
got a couple
I
sweatshirts in the back. I was like, no, I have to show the fans that this unfortunately happened.
Yeah, but hopefully, you are checking us out on other platforms. If you're listening to us on Spotify, wherever, Apple Podcasts, we appreciate you guys listening. Give us a rating. It's a big help. If you really like the show, it's really cool of you. Also, our YouTube, we're trying to grow, so give us a big thumbs up if you're listening or watching on YouTube already. And let's get right into this.
Hold on, I gotta say one more thing.
Paul
gets mad at me for the intro and how I just like prolonged the intro.
As you're doing right now.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal for ice cream degenerates.
Why?
I drove by the other day. First ice cream place on the block opened up. I stood in line in 20-degree weather.
You got ice cream?
And got ice cream open. Because opening night, they do the buy one, get one free ice cream.
I thought they don't.
I can't not take advantage of that.
Where I thought that most of the places they usually open first day of spring, which is like March 21st or 20th.
You gotta be on the lookout. And the Lena's by my place, they have their grand opening this Friday.
Okay.
Buy one, get one.
So you'll be there.
Look at me, the degenerate ice cream guy that I am. I'm writing down the openings, the grand openings for the season. So I'm hitting the buy one, get ones for the season early. All right, so let's get into the show. Paul's been dying to do drinking stereotypes.
Yes, we've done this a lot in the past. They do really well for us on TikTok. And we like talking about them because it's like that's what we do. We talk about different drinks. And, when we go to the bars and stuff, we love trying different drinks. But there's like each drink really has a specific type of person that they're tied to, right? And that's what we do here. So we talk about those people. And
we love to judge those people.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of judging people, the first drinking stereotype we have is the sorority girls. So what do the sorority girls get when they're at the bar? And the obvious answer is that they get a vodka soda with a splash of cran.
Splash of cran, splash of lime, splash of whatever you want,
Splash of cran. My buddy, we were out drinking at the bar, and he's ordering a drink next to me. And he goes, yeah, can I get a vodka soda with a splash of cran? I go, that drink better be for your girlfriend. My guy, I know you just did not order a splash of cran in your drink. It's bad enough he said splash. It would have been worse if he was drinking it.
See, I remember because I never really drank, I don't really drink vodka cranberries, but my girlfriend sometimes does. And, now that I hang out with a bunch of girls at the bars, we go with a group of friends.
Playboy.
Everyone's getting vodka cranberries. And it's so funny because I have a buddy right now who loves them. Like every time we go out to the bar, he'll get a vodka cranberry. And that's the vibe. We talked about it before. It's a simple drink for a girl. They do, vodka sodas, vodka Sprites. Anything like a mixed vodka drink is really like the go-to sorority girl drink at the bar.
Don't the girls bring the what are they called? The Mimis or whatever? They bring
Mio?
the Mio.
Mio. Yeah, Mio.
They bring the Mios where they squirt their own cranberry in so they can control how much cran is in the drink.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I thought your girlfriend does that. No,
I don't think so.
But yeah, splash of cran. I go nuts when I hear splash of cran.
Yeah, that's the go-to sorority girl drink at the bar. We always talk about White Claws and seltzers and stuff. We'll definitely do more. I want to do more seltzer stuff towards the summer, and we can't wait. We're doing Test and Lab here on our YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't checked out our testing lab videos, we did some Bud Light seltzers. We got some new stuff coming out, and when the spring hits, man, there are going to be some new seltzers dropping, which is going to be great to review.
So make sure you check out those Test and Lab videos and comment what you guys want us to try.
Yeah, well, actually, hopefully you already saw it. I just posted on our Instagram story drinks that you should try or that we should try.
Really?
So it's like, hopefully you're following us on Instagram or on TikTok at Life's a Party Pod. You can participate in the shows a little further and hopefully, participate in the videos and get us to drink, whatever you want.
That's a sorority girl. The white crop top, high-waisted jeans, Converse shoes, and a vodka cran with a splat, or vodka soda with a cran.
Vodka.
I think I had a vodka cran before this. With a splash of cran. That's what it is. Next one, Paul.
Next one we got are the blue-collared workers. The everyday American guys who are sweating it out. Hands are, gross at the end of the day. They're putting in the real labor hours. Yeah. They're the tough men in America. And what do these guys drink, right? Now, a lot of times you think automatically straight beer, right? You think Bud Light, Miller Lite, Budweiser. But sometimes, they love their bourbon. They love their whiskey. Yes. And sometimes they like a little bit of both. We've heard that it's a really great drink. You put, a normal light beer with a shot of bourbon or a shot of whiskey.
I just picture like these blue-collared workers coming in with their bright yellow shirt on. They got their Timbs on. They're walking into the bar. They look exhausted. They got their backwards hat. Their jeans are all ripped up. They sit down. They like bang the bar. They don't even have to order the Bud Light. The bartender comes over, gives them the Bud Light, gives them a shot of bourbon. They do both at the same time.
Yeah.
So you take the little shot, you break it in, and you wash it down with the Bud Light. That's what it is. The blue-collar people, the people that make the roads of this country.
Who line the roads, baby.
That's my preferred, strategy going to the bar. I get a Bud Light and then, a shot. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
my vibe.
I don't go with the vodka cran or special drinks.
I think it's unpatriotic, honestly. If you walk into the bar and if you're ready to drink for the night, if you don't start with a shot. It's like you could enter and you always get a drink, whatever your first drink is. But if you're with a group of friends or you're ready to party for a good night, I think it's unpatriotic to start the night at the bar without a shot.
If you don't walk in, go to the bathroom, and snort cocaine, you don't belong there.
Unpatriotic.
You do not belong in the United States of America.
It's wild, man. I've heard a lot of crazy stories about like that. I mean, not gonna just straight up. It's
going to the bathroom, and
going to stuff, doing drugs, coming back.
What if they just go in, snort the cocaine, come to the bar, and the bartender's like, "Can I get you anything?" Nah, I'm just gonna go back in the bathroom about 10 minutes. I'm strictly doing cocaine tonight.
Yep. I'm just here to the vibe. Yeah. I want to vibe and don't be at my house.
I've had a friend who's done that where they take shrooms and they'll go out, but they won't drink.
Yes.
But I think that's so weird because they're out socializing as to the best of their ability. But they're not carrying a drink.
Or I've seen a lot times too where someone does shrooms at the pregame.
Yeah.
And then they actually were on their way out and they say, "Hey, nah, I'm gonna stay back."
They gotta feel naked at when they're at the place.
Well, you just don't have
carrying a drink, they're just standing around on shrooms.
I mean, if that's something where you enjoy, you don't enjoy drinking a lot, you enjoy smoking. That you might still come out to the bar too, but a lot of times, a lot of those people will separate. Or if you do both, right? Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
That you'll do it usually separate nights. It's like, hey, tonight's our smoking night, tonight's our drinking night. Or you have a lot of times too, you might be drinking at home, and then it gets late in the night, and that's when you'll start to smoke.
Well, my problem is, and this is why I always get shit on for my bad experiences with smoking and weed, is that the only times I smoke are when I'm hammered. So, the 3 times that I've smoked in my life, I've been shit-faced. And people are like, you're not supposed to drink and smoke at the same time. Paul likes to be quiet on this.
Crossfading.
Come on. Weed's legal in a couple states.
A couple states.
It's legal in New Jersey.
Yeah, it is legal. Yeah, smoking is legal in New Jersey up to a certain amount. So
Paul gets eerie quiet.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong. You do your thing, baby.
What were we talking about? I was going to say something else. I forget, though. I guess not. Okay, next one is older women. So what do older women drink when they're out? So they usually want just a vodka, a water tonic. Usually they keep it really simple. It's what do your moms drink? What does your mom drink when she's out?
Straight vodka.
You're
I wish I was joking.
his mom. Yeah, I mean, we've done.
She's a classy lady.
You're that bad of a son? God, you gotta get it better as a son if she's drinking straight vodka.
I
Yeah,
try. It's still vodka though.
I feel like that might be. There might be a reflection on what your parents drink is a reflection on how you are as a
If
child.
they're having a Bud Light, you are doing good, my kid.
If your
son.
parents are drinking, like they're chilling once a couple nights, they have fine children. You're
So
a
what
good
does
child.
it mean if my mom does a double shot of vodka and my dad does bourbon?
Yeah, we don't know.
If your mom comes home and has the water machine that comes out of your fridge, but it comes out as wine, you got to reevaluate your life. Like something's not going right in your life where she's not.
Oh,
happy.
come on. That would be cool as shit if you just had it dispensing out of your fridge like that. though.
My mom likes this thing called slow gin. It is like the weirdest thing that it's $10 a bottle, and it's just slow gin and ginger ale. And like every time she drinks it, like for like New Year's and shit, her whole mouth turns red. I'm like, what? It's like she just had a lot. You check, it's like 10% alcohol. I'm like, what is the point? You could chug this whole bottle and you won't even be buzzed. I mean, what's the point of it? But what's Debbie drink?
My mom is.
I know she's not a big drinker. Neither is my mom.
Yeah, my mom's not a big drinker. Really, only just started drinking every once in a while. Like, but it is kind of so funny because if you have a parent who doesn't drink, like, let us know what they drink and like how quickly they might get hammered. Because my mom's like in her late 50s and she really didn't drink most of her life. And she'll have like 2 mics hard and be like throwing up. Like she'll come home she'll come home. She's smacked up. I'm like, what's going on? My stepdad's like, oh, she had a few. I'm like, what'd she have? She Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'll be sleeping at 2:30 in the morning. She's like throwing up. So if you have parents who don't normally drink, like let us know what what happens.
Would you like to be like that?
No.
Like a lightweight?
Well, that's a huge question, right? A lot of people when we grew up and we started drinking for the first time, everyone was like, oh, I can drink so much, or, I can drink more than you, or like, oh, I don't need to split this case.
It was a contest.
It was a huge contest, and dude, it was like everywhere you always went.
That's probably what led to a lot of my problems.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, in high school, it was always talking about how much you could drink, and it was just crazy. And then as you get older, it's like you realize how nice it is not to be able to have to drink so much, especially when you turn 21, you're at the bar. Like, I'd rather not have to pay a lot when I'm at the bar. And that's why the pregame's great. But if you're also a lightweight, that's a positive thing about being a lightweight. You drink a little, you only spend a little bit about the bar, and you're getting smacked up and you're having a good time with your friends.
My cousin was bragging the other day at a family party. He's like, yeah, I have like, he goes to Drexel. He lives in Philly, or he went to Drexel. And he's like, yeah, I have like a 12-pack of Yingling before I go out. I'm like, I remember those days, and I don't miss them.
Yeah.
Then you're putting on the extra calories, too.
Beer, I mean, that's a big reason why a lot of fraternities and everyone's, they're going towards the seltzers. Because at the same time, you want to drink a lot, and you want to have that lot of, good times. One of my favorite things to do is a dage. We love the dages, and when you're drinking all day out in the sun like that, you cannot be drinking 10, 12, 15 beers. No. Like, no matter how long you're drinking for, you're going to feel like shit. So the seltzers in the summer and the spring, as the weather gets warmer, it's like amazing.
The worst about the ages, though, is like sometimes when you start early, it's like you get hungover. Like in the middle of the midst of the party.
Yeah.
It's like it happened to me the other weekend. I was like out for Polar Bear Punch, and I got hungover like 10 p.m. because we started early. I was like, I don't like this. I'm ready for bed. Let's take a little Advil and a Tums and let's go night-night.
Dages are fun, though, depending on when you start, because I've started around like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and we'll go out to like the yard and we'll just like drink as a group. And it's always fun because those dages, what happens is they usually get split into 2 separate parties where you'll drink from like 10 to 4. And you're drinking, you're outside, you're having a good time. Maybe someone's grilling, whatever. Sometimes everyone will go home, shower, eat dinner, and then come back. And it's like 8 o'clock to 3 a.m. And that was the vibe. That was the life that I was trying to live.
Those people were built different.
Built different.
All right, what's the next one?
Next one we got here is the newly 21-year-olds. When you turn 21 and you're fresh and you just want to go out to the bar, you want to drink, what's your go-to drink? What are you drinking? And most of the time, you're drinking complex, sweet shots with fancy names all the time.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, too, because you order these shots, and most of the time you don't know what it is.
Right.
There's a lot of, like, your friends might know what it is who are a little bit older than you, or you go out to a fancy place, and you just ask the bartender. That's always a big thing. It's like, oh, what's your signature drink? Or it's a good thing. That's not always a bad thing. But sometimes those fancy name drinks where you're picking and you're choosing these because you don't know any better, you're paying a lot.
And then you're not realizing like the amount of sugar that's in that drink.
Yeah.
So when you have that drink and you're like, your stomach's hurting the rest of the night, but you're like a rookie. Like you're a rookie at the bar. You know, a lot of 21-year-olds when they turn 21, what they order at the bar is like the mainstream shit, like a Jack and Coke. Sometimes Jack and Cokes be getting in my stomach. I might just have tummy issues now that I'm thinking about it. I might just have tummy issues. I gotta go to the doctor. But like when I turned 21, I talked about this on the show before. It's like I'm lost. Like the menu, let the order. It's like Fireball, Bud Light, and then like I just discovered tequila.
I know.
When they say tequila, it's like what kind of tequila? I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta give you a name. I gotta give you a brand.
Well, now most of the time with tequila, I love, we love Casamigos.
Yeah,
and it's Casamigos super expensive, but it's a name brand. It is really good. I have realized the difference, and it's so interesting when I discovered a shaker. Do you ever shake your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, like I think it's crazy that in high school we were just taking shots all the time, and everything was warm.
Yeah.
Everything was always warm. You were taking shots, whatever. And then now as I get older, it's like learning from my parents or my parents' friends, right? And when I'm at these like family parties, it's so much fun to watch those people drink because they teach you how to drink.
That's so funny that you're saying that because it's so true.
It is so, like, they're really teaching you. As you get older, they're like, hey, this is the right way to drink, and you're going to enjoy it as you get older.
So being the degenerate that I am, I'm like rounding up my cousins to take Fireball shots on Christmas.
Warm.
And
Everything's warm.
my uncle comes back. He's like, all right, I'm in, because he was down the party that night. He's like, all right, I'm in. I'm pouring the shots. He's like, you're not going to chill it? I'm like, what do you mean I got to chill? He's like, put it back in the bottle. He's like, I'm chilling them. Because he used to bartend. He gets the shaker. He's chilling the Fireball. Goes down way smoother, less cringy. So, like, if you understand how to make these drinks, and there's ways that you can drink the same amount of alcohol and still have the same effect, but it'd be a lot more easier than we make it. You know what I'm saying? Like a non-chilled Fireball that's warm and disgusting is a lot harder to take than a chilled, normal, straight-up Fireball shot.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you realize how important that shaker is, and that's why everyone has one in their house, because it's a game changer.
That's what makes, like, when you said that, it makes me laugh because it's so dramatic of a change. That's what
true.
a shaker and chilling a shot can do. It's so funny.
And you just, when we were younger, you just don't think about it. You know, if you're in a fraternity, you're at college, or you were in high school, you were drinking, like, you would never think you'd be such a weirdo. You'd be such a nerd. Like, imagine you're just drinking at a college party, and then all of a sudden, you pull out the chiller, like, from your bag, and you're like, hey, man, I'm just gonna, like, shake these up, chill my shots. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, just have a good time.
I just felt like such like a rookie when I was like 24 at the Christmas. He's like, you're not gonna chill it? And I take it. I was like, wow, I should start doing that because it's the same liquor going down. It's doing the same damage, but just a lot easier. The next one is a New York City tourist. So what do New York City tourists get? New York City gets a bunch of tourists. They all order Manhattan. Manhattan.
Nailed it.
They all get Manhattans. And have you ever had a Manhattan, Paul?
I haven't, no.
So what they do with the New York City tourists, because it's called a Manhattan, Manhattan's New York City, New York, blah, blah, blah. They'll get a Manhattan and not realize the strength of a Manhattan. A Manhattan is like one of the strongest drinks that I've ever had. It's almost like taking a shot every sip.
Yeah?
That's how powerful it is.
So strong? Yeah.
You're going to have to get one next time you're out, a Manhattan. I was like 22, and my other uncle wouldn't let me have a Manhattan. He's like, I was too fucked up, too smacked up to have a Manhattan because it's too powerful. Okay. Then once I had it, I realized that it's practically taking a shot every time you sip it. Do you find that enjoyable?
No.
That's like drinking whiskey.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about. When you drink older guys, we've talked about the men who, we've done this list before. It's saying, you know, who drinks whiskey and who drinks bourbon. And it's like, and it's, no, did we talk? I don't know if we talked about this on the show recently, but I kind of stumbled upon TikToks where it was these older men who were very into ice and making their own ice and like how pure the ice had to be. They had their own fridge for the ice.
Well, they got like the circle ice.
They were making the ice into like cubes and circles and like, I mean, drinking, it's an art. You know, we're like, you know, we're chilling. We're like, hey, we're kind of like just splattering paint on the walls. Where there's a lot of older people, you know, who are really crafting these.
There's a lot more depth in the drinking than that we realize.
100%.
And as a podcast and as a show that has Life's a Party, we don't do a good job going into that depth of drinking.
Well, we know our age range. You know what I mean, and our demographics, the people who are drinking with us. Like, we don't have a lot of older people who are drinking who are like, you know, or taking our tips and tricks to drink.
It's like wine connoisseurs. Like, there's so much depth in the wine.
Well, a lot of depth in the wine, man.
So it's interesting. I mean, we never really go into detail, but you'll have to get a Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's game changer. You'll probably be hammered after. You definitely will be hammered after.
The next one
Give
was
it to your mom, Debbie. She'll be in the
she'll
hospital.
be hospital.
2 sips, hospital.
Next one we have here is the couple that hired a babysitter. So, when your parents or a couple has a child, they go out and they drink for the first time. What are those people getting? They're getting apple teenies.
It's almost like what producer Drew kind of referenced. It's like that couple is going through it. Like you see them, like you see that couple that like got dressed very nice to come to your local bar.
Yes.
Sit in the corner, order some quesadillas, and they're like, the mom's got high heels on, crossing her legs, and they got apple teenies in their fucking hands.
It's their night out.
And they're cheering. They're at such a bad situation at home with the kids that they're using this local bar as like a getaway from those kids and making it seem like it's a lot fancier than what it really is.
So, can you explain an apple teeny to me?
I just know that it's in a nice glass.
Because I know the martinis, right? And we talk about martini glasses.
I guess it's a martini that tastes like apple.
It's like a specific type of.
We should change the name of this podcast.
I think as we're getting older, and that's why Testing Lab, I think, can really be a cool avenue and venue where we can start doing more mixed drinks and more adult beverages where we can kind of test that stuff out. So again, if you have suggestions for us, give us a DM over on Instagram or put in the comments of this YouTube channel. Let us know like what you want us to try. If there's any like cool drinks that you want us to try that we can make ourselves or even go buy.
Yeah, Testing Lab's going to be dope. I mean, we're just basically just breaking into the service, trying a few things, but there's endless opportunities and ways that we can like make apple teenies for the first time. And Paul can have his first Manhattan, and
we can make Manhattans on that show. Like that'd be fun, what I mean?
So definitely check those videos out. Coming, I mean, probably like bi-weekly almost.
Yeah.
Don't we have one coming out soon?
Got one coming out soon. Yeah,
Should be before this episode.
Before, yeah. So when this episode, check it out. It's already up.
I think it's the funnier one of the 2 we've posted so far. So definitely check it out.
Truly margarita.
All right, the next one we are like to call the Karen. So what does the Karen get when they go out to a bar? The Karen gets a drink that they've seen on Pinterest or Facebook that has 25 steps on how to make it. It's like the drink that has a bunch of different combinations. Like, oh, you sprinkle the Oreos on the whipped cream, and you got to get the pinnacle whip and do it. Like, it's just like
do it at
this.
home.
This bartender lady has to serve this whole section of college kids, and you want her to make this 25-step drink, Karen? Like, now is not the time and place to do that. If you want to drink that, go to like a fancy restaurant or go into the city and have that drink.
Or do it
not at
yourself.
this local bar. Stop being a Karen.
Do you think all the girls who do that currently with their coffee are building to that Karen stage, right?
Oh,
so you have all these girls who go to Starbucks, who love their coffee, right? I mean, we love what you love. Don't get me wrong. But when you make it super difficult, they're like, this, that, and that, and that.
5 squirts of caramel. It's like it's like 5.32 squirts of caramel. It's like what?
No
those
more,
drinks-
no less.
Do you
Yeah.
need the 0.32 squirts?
Those coffees are so intricate sometimes. These people are telling to the baristas at Starbucks, it's like they're just they're starting their journey to where they get to a nice bar and they're not even a nice bar, just whatever,
Yeah.
and they're just shouting these crazy drinks to people.
Dude, I was in line at Starbucks the other day, like in the driveway. This lady in front of me got her iced coffee. She asked for a straw, gets her straw, puts the straw in her iced coffee, sips it while at the window, gives it back.
She didn't like it?
She didn't like it. That she made them remake it. I mean, if you had that happen, it sucks. If it happens to all of us, you got a fucked up drink, but don't do it in line and give it back in the driveway.
So she was in the drive-thru.
She was in the driveway, in the window where they give it, and then you go.
Yeah.
She got her drink, got her straw, put it in, sipped it. Guess she didn't like the way it was made, gave it back, and waited for another one.
That sucks though, because you would have to wait so long. Like, unless they just say, hey, pull up front, we'll remake it and
Like
we'll come back to
See,
it.
that's the thing. It's just like, if depending on how much you pay, you may want it the way that it's made. But like, you go to McDonald's and they fuck up your order. Oh, they made a Big Mac, but they don't have lettuce on it. I'm not gonna go and start bitching about it. I'm just gonna eat my food and go.
That's the difference. I would. I'd go back. And I
Really?
know, I know a lot of people. I mean, and I could see where, like, for her, I can see just returning it. And I don't drink
Just return to get a refund, go, not wait for another one?
No. If you're there, yeah, you're gonna get another drink, and especially because those drinks cost so much.
A lot.
Like, you go to a Starbucks, you're paying what, $4
$4 or $5.
or $5 for coffee. If you don't like it and you're still at the Starbucks, yeah, go. See what they can do. But the problem is, dude, I see these clips. I don't know what specific movie it was from. It was the one with Ryan Reynolds where it was like this girl. She was complaining about her food. he brings the food back, and it's the waiters, and they just destroy the steak.
No.
They're like spitting in it. They're like rubbing their like
Yeah.
armpits with it. So that is your fear. Where if you're ever at a restaurant, you complain about the meal, or in this case, your drink, right?
Yeah.
Like, what could people do to it?
That's like there was a TikTok going around of the guy at McDonald's making like a frappe, and instead of putting the caramel sauce, he got sweet and sour sauce and drills it on top of the whipped cream.
Yeah.
I mean, that has happened to us, right? Where like someone has spit in our food and fast food.
Someone
It
probably
has to happen at least one. Like I want to know the statistics of that. It has to happen.
See, I just use it as an opportunity to be like, oh, I'll just try something for the first time. It's an excuse.
Well, you're the good people in life. You're the good person.
Dude, I'm the person that doesn't like confrontation when it comes to buying a fucking Big Mac.
Dude, I went to Starbucks today, and they ran out of strawberry sauce for my pink drink. How did that happen? Okay. Next
My
one.
big drink.
There's nothing into this.
Next one, Paul.
Next one, we have the bearded dads. So when you're a dad, you finally get to the bar. What are you drinking? You're getting out of the house. You are an IPA drinker, and usually want to ask, 15 million questions about the drink, where it was imported from, who made it, this, that, and the other, because you're invested in your beer, right?
Yeah.
And you have those people who love their beer, who love what they drink, and as you get older, it's like that's what you like, right? So you're not just gonna be like, hey, I like this Bud Light. It's like, no, it's like I'm gonna try all these different types of beers, and when you finally get out of the house as a dad, do your thing.
You got your Patagonia sweater vest on.
Yeah, those guys, they're the
Half
best.
zipped. You got your hair combed over with a lot of gel in it. Yeah, you could just picture these guys pretty. The IPA guys are like those guys that have the scruffy beards, like we said. They're like bulky guys walking. It's like that age range where like they're diving into the depth of IPAs. I almost think they're like the fraternity guys.
The IPA guys, and when you're really into IPAs, it's that transition of binge drinking, and you're drinking your beers, whatever, at the fraternity house, at the college, and then you're not at the whiskey yet, right?
Right, yeah.
You're not at the whiskey. You're not at home
Right.
making your own ice. You are going to the local brewery or you're getting craft beers, you're getting IPAs, and you're getting interested into the beer making process, where like the women, they have their vodka crayons, right?
Yeah.
At the bars, and then they
Wine.
get into their wine, right?
Yeah.
They get in their wine connoisseurs, they get into the wine, and it's the same thing. Instead of wine, it's the IPAs.
You're drinking Monkey Bars 2.0 is like
Yes.
the IPA name for it. Then they look at me, oh, you're drinking Bud Light? That's like drinking fucking water. Why don't you just have a Poland Springs? Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Let me just enjoy my Bud Light while you have your IPA. I'm not a big IPA guy, nor do I. Sorry, I'm probably going to get shit on for this, but I don't like the IPA guys for some reason. They rub me the wrong way.
Well,
They think they're like entitled. Like they talk down on me in my Bud Light. I have just as good of a time drinking Bud Light than you do drinking your IPA, buddy.
well, that's fine. Yeah, you're seeing the stereotypical like fraternity short shorts dude
Yeah.
that's like gonna charge you $20 at the door. That's why you don't like that guy.
Whatever. I just don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with the IPA guys.
Last one we got for drinking.
This one's a funny one. This is the Long Island iced tea drinkers. I guess you could associate them with trash.
Welcome, what's
you go
up?
to Applebee's, you have $1 Long Island iced tea. You drink that till you black out. You don't tip the waitress good. You get in, you get out, and you get the job done.
Long Island iced teas, though, or LITs, Lits.
Okay.
Remember I
know
told
we've
you
been
about
there.
this?
Yeah, we've been over this.
I love LITs. They're one of my favorite drinks
This dude
because
said L-I-T.
lit, baby.
Get it? Life's a party.
Life's a party, baby. I love Long Island iced teas. We used to go to the local bar every Wednesday night after in college. Every Wednesday, the local bar would have drink specials, and LIT was always on that list. It was a $5 LIT.
Stop doing L-I-T. I hate that.
Wasted. No, because you I remember I told you this months ago. I said LIT, and you were like, no one says that. No one says LIT. And I'm like, everyone does, dude.
Ryan, I need you to make a poll for.
I will have to do
Fine,
a
we'll
poll.
put a poll up on YouTube. Hopefully it's up by now. Go check it out. And if you say LIT or you say, no one's like taking their time saying Long Island Ice. Can I get a Long Island iced tea?
Long Island iced teas are so freaking strong, though.
They're
You go to
am-
Applebee's, you
that's
could
what I'm saying.
Like your date would just smell the liquor coming
They're
off you.
because they're phenomenal. They're like, it doesn't make sense to me because I've watched bartenders make them, and because Long Island usually I think it's 5 different types of liquor.
That's like jungle juice.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It's like how does that taste so good? And I don't know, but the thing is, it does.
Why do you think they make them like $1 if they do the job so well and they taste pretty good?
I don't know. I guess they're cheap, and I guess it's like getting rid of like a bunch of access alcohol.
It's like a bunch of house.
Probably,
liquor.
yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know.
That's interesting.
But-
That you know what? You probably are right. That's why they probably make it $1 because they try to get rid of that liquor.
They're trying to get rid of that certain type of liquor, and I love them. My local, my college bar, $5. You would buy 2, $10 for the night. I'm telling you, on your ass. Like 2, I had 4 one time. I don't remember that night. I could barely walk home. Like
We should go out one night and just do a
Long Island.
We'll do a lit video of just me and Paul, and we'll put like a counter up and just see how many LIT. I'm not hopping on board to this lit LIT.
I wrote it down, so it's official.
That'd be a great video. We just keep like a counter of like how many.
We just go to the bar and we can like film everything sneakily too, where we just we just sit there and we just have a bar. Well, we can go to our local bar and film it. They won't care.
I'll have to see how much those little cameras you can get on your glasses
Sunglasses, yeah, it'd be fun.
We just get up, start doing karaoke.
Oh my god, I'm gonna. If I have to
Video
drive you guys-
ends. It's like us getting thrown out of the bar.
I'm gonna have to drive your asses home.
All right, here we go. Last segment, Paulie.
We are doing Disney facts, baby.
People love it.
People love our Disney facts. That's what we give. You know, it's our moneymaker. I love talking about Disney and our world of entertainment because they just are so. They have such a range on entertainment.
I've learned so much about Disney since we
Disney
started this.
guy here.
I've learned so much about Disney. I am now the Disney guy, and people like I walk around the street. They go, "Hey, you're the Disney guy."
They don't do that.
I go,
no.
"Yes," and they go, "Oh, and you're also a comedian."
I was just gonna,
I go, "Yes, I'm a Disney guy, comedian guy. I do it all."
Fake
like
news.
a Swiss Army knife.
Ridiculous, dude.
Wait,
but
before we get into the Disney,
Yeah.
there was something I saw you liked on Twitter. They're bringing back something like a light parade or something.
oh yeah, they're bringing back the Paint the Night parade into Disneyland. So it's just crazy. Well, the whole joke is that like there's this Paint the Night parade, which is an amazing parade. It's a nighttime parade. It's really bright. It's all colorful, and it's been at both parks. It's been at Disneyland. I went to Disney World and Magic Kingdom for a long time, and people always joke because this parade being back is an awesome thing for Disneyland, but it just shows you that for the 50th at Walt Disney World, they like did not care. Like it was kind of it felt like a last minute thing. Unfortunately, I think with COVID kind of screwed everything up. The new leadership who has been cutting corners
Well,
and
they've been in the news like in negative ways.
negative stuff. And it just shows you everyone's like, what? They're like, you're announcing this amazing light show to come back to Disneyland when your resort is having a 50th anniversary right now. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you try to pull focus? And like, why did this not go to Disney World? Like, why is this not in Magic Kingdom happening right now for the 50th? It's ridiculous. And yeah, it just sucks.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It makes
at all.
no
Like,
sense.
Do they almost operate as like two separate entities?
Yeah, I mean it's under the Walt Disney Company as a whole, but like each park has their own stuff, right? And Disneyland's like
So Disneyland would never get like the A-list shit, right? So you're saying this is such a great prominent parade, people love it. Why are they bringing it to Disneyland instead of Disney for the 50th?
I mean, both parks are amazing. You know, Disneyland is the original; it's the classic.
Yeah.
Walt Disney World is their largest resort by far. So, and what I think is the stuff and their gold standard. But it just shows you like. It doesn't really matter who got the parade. It just shows you like why are they caring about Disneyland right now when like the 50th at Walt Disney World isn't. Everyone's complaining about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't say it's as big as it should be. Where you have this amazing parade, and instead of putting it at the park where it should be right now, they put it at the other park.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. But Disney facts, baby. We're talking some Disney stuff, and something that what I really like about Disney is that they have this thing. It's called a Magic Band. So a Magic Band came out a few years ago, probably more than 5 or 6 years ago now, probably even further. No, probably more than probably like 8 or 9 years ago, because I remember being in high school when they came out, and it was such a cool thing. They actually spent like $2 billion to develop the technology behind it, and now it's everywhere, right? Like you can add your phone to stuff, and it like that technology has definitely progressed. But the Magic Band, what a lot of people don't know is how much your Magic Band can do.
Yeah.
And Walt
Like if
Disney
I
World?
think not me, I mean, sorry, this comment's gonna make me seem like I'm not the Disney guy.
Yes,
But I am.
which is true,
By heart. Like if I'm thinking, I just think you use that just to get into the park,
right?
and I'm wrong in that aspect.
Yeah, because the Magic Band does a lot more than just getting you into the theme parks. And the whole point is, you put it on your wrist. It's like a wristband, and what it usually, it's like an electronic chip. The actual term here we have RFID, radio frequency identification. So that's the chip that is in these Magic Bands. They have them in your phone now. Some other wristbands can have them too. You could put them on like different stuff to track maybe your wallet or your phone, or like, they put the chips everywhere now. But like 10 years ago, this was a big deal. And what's really cool about it, so you can you can go in the park with it. If you stay on Disney property, you can use it to enter your hotel room. You can also pay with it. So instead of holding like a credit card around, right? You just go get popcorn, you go buy a sweatshirt, you attach it instead of swiping your card, and then you just put in your PIN just to make sure
Dude,
it's you.
that's like so dangerous. Do you think there's gonna be a time in America where we have something like that?
Well, I
kinda
think
do
Like
now,
20
with
years
that-
from now, we have this a wristband. Well, yeah, I guess we do kind of have something like
Yeah,
that.
if you have an Apple Watch, you can just pay with that.
'Cause now you can
That's what
pay-
I
you
used
Pay
to
with
do.
Apple.
yeah, you can pay with your Apple Watch.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time.
Because it has that card reader and like
You think
chip
they
in it.
got that from Disney World?
Nah, I don't know.
It was after when Disney did it. I know Disney. I was at Disney when they had the first gen Magic Bands out, and you could go up and pay with them.
Yeah.
It was really nice. But as you were saying, it is pretty fucking dangerous, especially if you have your
Yeah.
kids going around.
I just got my PayPal connected to my wristband here to
Well,
pay for everything.
It doesn't lock you out. Me and my cousin, we went there, and we were like, I don't know, I would say like maybe 13 years old. All we had to know was the PIN,
Yes.
which my parents used on everything, so I could just buy whatever I wanted. Very dangerous.
Well, that's the point of why. That was one of the main reasons why Disney World, because it's not in Disneyland. It's only in Walt Disney World is the Magic Band readers, and what they made all the new the kiosks to get into the park. They put in all the stands and the shops, and like having this technology. That's why it costs so much, because they had to really implement it and put it throughout all the resorts and everything.
You can use it for like ride pictures, right?
Well,
Yes.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying is the main reason why they brought this in, it was to Andrew's point where like as a kid you could just go around and pay for stuff, was they developed it because they thought people would use it to spend more. And because they wouldn't be paying attention to swiping their card and having to actually go in their wallet and grab their credit card, where it was like, oh, I just got it. You wouldn't even look at the price. And I remember going as a kid, or maybe I was like 14, 15, and it was right when these came out, I wasn't paying attention to the price at all. Like it was like, oh, popcorn, oh, I just scan it. Pop in the code, good to go. Like you're not realizing that price, and they thought it would advance their profits and make them a lot more money, but unfortunately it did not. So it kind of became like a bust for them, and that's why they don't use it as much. They don't promote it. They've also gone back to park tickets. You can also scan in now with your phone or your Apple Watch, or you can put your ticket there. So they don't push it as much anymore. It's not even when you stayed on property at a Disney hotel, it used to come with your stay. They would give you this is from my Disney stay like years ago. But what Ryan was saying, so then once you get in the park, you can use it for your hotel, your park. You're paying for stuff. You can also use it for rides. So it's your Fast Pass to get in. So you do your Fast Pass on your phone, or now your Genie Plus or your Lightning Lane, and then you use your Magic Band to scan into the ride and go into the ride. And then when you're in that ride, usually at the end, if the ride has a on ride photo, you just scan your Magic Band. It goes right to your photo pass, and it's good to go. And if they don't even have, some of the rides don't even have that scan thing at the end anymore. They just find your chip in the ride.
Wow.
And then they automatically put it to your account on your phone, which is like insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So one thing I was going to say was it had the added convenience of just going up and tapping whatever it is, and whatever you want it to happen happens. I don't know if they're going to go back to using the phones, because when I went this like last summer, you could even unlock your hotel room with your phone. But the problem is, it's just very finicky to have to go into your phone and go into the app, wait for it to load, and make sure you're on the internet just so you can do any basic function. So I don't know if the Magic Bands will ever really fizzle out, but I think you still have to pay for them now. They're not really included with
So the
your
Magic
stay.
Bands are now an upcharge that if you want to buy them, and there's like really expensive ones, like $25, $35 ones that are like cool designs. They're
they charge you
they've turned
extra.
into collectibles almost.
What happens if you lose one?
You can get a new
So you lose one. So the whole thing is like the pin, right? And that's why the pin's important, because if the pin wasn't there, you could just scan someone's Magic Band and it would be attached to their credit card. So if you lose your Magic Band, it's basically worthless. You would go to a customer service, you'd cancel it, and then you can buy a new one and put it on your card.
All right.
It's pretty simple.
The next Disney fact we're going to talk about are the windows on Main Street, USA. So if you go into the park and you look at the windows on Main Street, you'll notice that there is a bunch of names that are listed. So those are not just any generic names. Those names are part of like various Imagineers or creators who had a helping hand in designing whether the content of Disney or just the park of Disney. And so those names actually have some meaning to it. Like, for example, there's Roy E. Disney, who has his name. He was a longtime executive at Walt Disney Company. He even added his son to the list to be named on one of the windows. And of course, if you look, you could find that Walt Disney has he has his name listed twice on Main Street windows. So definitely check it out. I believe the one of Walt Disney is over the plaza, the ice cream parlor plaza. That's where one of Walt Disney's names listed. So definitely check it out next time you're in Main Street USA for those names listed. Maybe look at them, maybe Google them, see what kind of content that person did or why they're memorable at Disney World.
Yeah. Next one we got here. This one's pretty cool. If you like music and you like classic rock, the Beatles actually broke up in Walt Disney World. So the Beatles were, were actually legally discovered. Or hold on, reset here. The Beatles broke up in Disney World. So the Beatles were actually legally dissolved in 1974 at Walt Disney World. In fact, John Lennon was staying at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort when he signed the documents that he would officially disband the band.
That's crazy. Like the set in stone signage to officially break up the band
Was in
happened in the
Disney World.
Polynesian Resort. That's crazy.
So you just never know, and I think things can happen anywhere. But it is crazy to be like in that location or maybe on vacation, and they just said, "Hey, I'm done." He's like, "I'm gonna sign it right now."
I love those like historic stories.
Yeah, I mean, what is crazy is Walt Disney World has been tied to a lot of historic events, which there's one more we're going to talk about.
Yep, good segue, Paul. You're getting pretty good at this podcasting
That's
thing.
what I do. Yeah.
So the next historic event was the speech by Richard Nixon. He gave his "I am not a crook" speech in Disney World. The speech was actually given in the ballroom of the Americas on the second floor of Disney's Contemporary Resort. So we talk about this a lot on the show, and it's like something that I like a lot. Is like I like being in historic places. I mean, I remember we talked about what was that? Bill Clinton, JFK's assassination. Paul visited that spot. Or like I just love being in like an open battlefield, like just being in that place where so many like historic things happen, people die. Like there was an actual battle that happened here, or like you're on the court at Madison Square Garden where like Larry Bird hit the shot from here, or Kobe went for 8. Like it's just I love being in those places where special shit happened. And this is like an historic speech that Richard Nixon gave, and you can still go into that room and kind of just picture in your head on how it went and the history that setting has in America's history.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Richard Nixon also was the first one to ride the monorail in Disneyland. So when it debuted, I don't know if I would want to be the first one on the monorail. I mean, there's a lot of shit that can go wrong. It's like being the first one on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be the one to take the leap of faith in that. Because if it goes down or there's a malfunction for the first time it's riding, then I'm not going to be alive. So, but that's that. Richard Nixon, historic in Disney World.
A cool fun fact about Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World is there's a cool thing that if you get to stay at the end of the night when the park closes, that you can see the special Kiss Goodnight, which it's called. And the Kiss Goodnight, there are a few things that are very rare to see in Walt Disney World, and this is one of them. If you stay around after the fireworks and the park is truly officially closed, most of the people are out the gates. You might get a chance to see this special show. So the castle briefly twinkles and then fades through a multiple soft transitions of color as a special announcement comes on, and you will hear basically wishing you the happiest of memories, hope you had a great day, and they hope to see you soon. And it's just a really special little moment that happens most people don't know about and only happens when the park is like, I think it's like 15 to 20 or 30 minutes after the park has officially closed.
So once again, this is going to make me seem like I'm not the Disney guy, but once again, I am the Disney guy. I didn't know this. And so like my question is do the workers there and the employees like, hey, it's time to leave the park? Like, it's like, do they try to like escort the people out? And then like you have to realize that this Kiss Goodnight's going to go on, so you try to like sneak around and stay after?
So the way that I've realized what happens in the Disney parks is like, so the parks will, so if it's like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, I'd like say like 10 o'clock, right? The park will close officially at 10 o'clock. You are able to get into line for any ride up to park closing. So, it's 9:58. You jump into Space Mountain. However long that wait is, you're fine. Like as long as you jumped in that line before park officially closed, you're good to go. So that's a really good way to, if you try to stay as late as physically possible, get in a line right before the park closes. Space Mountain takes 45 minutes. You get out of the park 10:45, right? You got to walk to the end of the park. Well, like Magic Kingdom, for example, it's, the hub where the castle is really, you have to kind of go to the hub to leave. The way the park is designed, it's a hub and spoke park design where, you enter, you go to the circle, and then each part of every land kind of goes off the center, and that you can always find, a connection to each other land or connection in the middle of the park through that hub. So that's the way you would leave. And, if you are leaving at the end of the night, it's not like the castle's in the back or some weird spot where you kind of have to stay around. Like, that's the last thing that they will close off is that hub and that castle. And then what they'll do is they'll push everyone forward to the front gates.
It feels so important though, because like we talk about like even like as little like a down frame as like a commercial. Like you want to have that person leave with like a sense of like warmness or like that feeling of leaving.
100%.
It's like the perfect thing. It's like how we talk about Disney and how they schedule everything by each square foot and how they schedule everything. It's like this perfect goodbye is like it leaves you with like a warm fuzzy feeling in your stomach before you leave the park.
Yeah, no matter what, when you learn in middle school or like writing papers or storytelling or whatever, right? You want to start with a great hook. You want to introduce people the best way. And at the end of the day, like you want to leave them with a positive memory or a positive thing. And something like that, that is special and maybe is just a little extra special to the people who really love Disney. Or
they make it seem like a secret, so it makes it seem extra special than what it really is. Because they don't actually like kick you out.
No.
They make you like make it seem like you have to get out, and they make it seem that if you hang around, you'll get to see the special like kiss goodnight. But like, what I'm saying?
And that'll be the last thing. And then I was in Hollywood Studios, and I remember I was there very late for something, and it became a group of cast members just kind of like in a line, like 5 of them, just like in a line where they were slowly pushing you forward, right? It was like 5 feet, and then you would go up, and then that line would creep up, right? Yeah. So that's kind of how they push people out. They don't really say, they're never rude. They're just kind of, hey, park is closed. Please make your way out, and they'll make sure you get out.
Yeah, they're never rude. They point with 2 fingers, not 1.
That's true.
I'm the Disney guy. One last thing I will say before we get into our last fact is that I have someone who I work with that used to live in Florida, and she had a season pass to Disney World, and she would go to the parks every day for her life.
That's the way to live, I guess.
I didn't know that people actually are that obsessed with Disney World.
People
every single day for her life. Like she made it seem like she was like 14, and every day she would stop in a park.
I mean, if that's what you like, then yeah, like I'm never gonna tell you not to do what you want to do. It would just be crazy that that's more your home than anywhere else, right? Because you're like actually physically in the park most of the time.
Right. Well, now she says she doesn't miss it at all. Like she's like sick of it, like sick of Disney World. I'm like, yeah, imagine. You're probably related to Walt Disney at this point. Speaking of Walt Disney, he never got to see Disney World open, which sucks. And I really hate that for him. But Walt did get to experience the open of Disneyland Park in California. So Walt did not get to see the open of Disney World in Florida, but he did get to walk the land to see kind of like where he can build this great park. But that does suck. We talked about that before, where you're like putting the blueprint of this big park and you never really let it come to fruition. There we go. Full circle. I opened the show with fruition. We're closing it with fruition. Good show.
Yeah. Walt never, he did so much, and you talked about so I don't know if you realize this, but you talked about Roy E. Disney.
I do, because I'm a Disney guy.
Okay, that's
his brother.
That's his Walt's brother.
Disney guy, comedian.
So, Walt was really the creative person and Roy was the financial person. And that's why their partnership and their brothers worked really well to build the Walt Disney World Company. And when Walt died and he never got to see Magic Kingdom open, it was really Roy who everyone looked to. And they made sure that park was open. But I remember then once the physical park was open, and all of the rides and everything was still Walt's vision, because Walt was there very to the late the process of the park building and the plans and the rides and everything. And I remember when they were trying to expand the park or like just update things, that first round, it was the first time that entire company never had Walt. So it was like after that first park built, and then you had Epcot was built like 10 years later, and that was still, they took an idea from Walt. They took Epcot, which was Walt's idea for a neighborhood of the future, and they turned it into a second theme park down in Orlando. So
imagine being Roy. Walt builds this whole thing. You're like, he's going to be in charge. He's done. You are now in charge of this multi-million-dollar soon-to-be business.
Yeah.
And you're leading the charge. No pressure, Roy. Hey, he did pretty well.
But he did a great job. We're still talking about it, and they've had some good leadership ever since. Except right now, leadership kind of blows for Disney.
I was seeing some pictures where they're not keeping up with cleaning the fucking
park.
There's
a lot. Dude, there's so many issues. If you want to learn more about Disney,
are you telling people to sell their stock on Disney?
No, I don't think it's there yet. But I'm saying for hardcore fans, people are starting to really see a lag in the Disney expectation. And they are just not caring about, I've heard stories about we're having a shortage, everything with COVID. Like, I get it, but they're not like, even in Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars land, your amazing IP billion dollar land that you built, you are not selling lightsabers because you ran out, right? Like, how do you do that? Like, if you went to Universal and they said we don't got wands for Harry Potter, you'd be pissed. Like, that's why you went, right? Like, how do you not have a lightsaber, even like a cheap one? How do you not have one? So people are pissed.
Mickey Mouse isn't here today.
Hell, Mickey's sick. It's like, dude, what?
We ran out of strawberry juice for your pink drink.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
So
Good show. It was such a great show that I forgot that we have the same sweatshirt on.
Yeah, we're looking good.
I was not made for a good hour, but now I am back to being pissed off.
We're having a good day here. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you guys. Also, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, @Life'sAPartyPod. Check out the Patreon if you want some exclusive content. We're doing some really cool stuff over there. And as always,
music, take us out.
Peace, baby.
Later.